Hey, hi, hello guys. Welcome back to Code with Nani channel. So today we're going to discuss about the lead code problem of the day, tuple with same product. So given an array nums, okay, so which is distinct positive integers. So we need to return the number of tuples in such a way that a into b. So a into b is equal to c into d. So where a, b, c are elements of nums, and a not equal to b, b not equal to c, c not equal to b, because they already given that the array is a distinct positive integer, so we don't need to consider about the distinct elements. Okay, it's already be a distinct elements, and just take the example case. So 2 3 4 6, so as we take the product of 2 and 6, it's a 12, and 3 and 4, it's a 12. So total number of valid tuples are, like, there are 8 tuples. So how does 8 comes? I'll show in the Microsoft board. You will get to know about this. I'll take an example. So 2, given the nums array, it's a 2 3 4 6, right? Just take these two as a product, 2 6 and 3 4. So this can be a tuple. Sorry. So this can be a tuple where this is A, this is B, this is C, and D. So where all the elements are distinct elements. So if you take this case, the condition is satisfied. So A into B is equal to C into D. So how does number of ways? It would be a 8 ways. So how does it come? So I'll show you. Suppose let's let's keep the A and B as such, A and B as such, and just swap the elements of C and D. So that can be another tuple, right? That can be another tuple. So 2643 is a tuple, and 2634 is a tuple, right? So, and now just swap C and D with A and B. Just swap C and D with A and D. So this can be a tuple. Just keep 3 4 as such, and exchange it, right? So 3 4 and 6 2. So how many number of pairs for each valid set? It was around like 4 set and various other 4 sets. So so another 4 sets are, like, you can take this case as well. Suppose if we keep 3 4 3, just swap 4 and 3 as well. 4 3, just swap these two and keep this 2 6 as such. 6 2. So just swapping these two and keeping the same as such. And here the same thing, swapping to 4 and 3 and keeping 6 and 2. Another case would be swapping 6 2. Here swapping 6 2, keeping 4 3 as such, and capping swapping 6 2 and keeping 3 and 4 as such. So what are total number of pairs? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So total number of pairs is 8. So long story short, if you find a valid set where a into b equal to c into d, so the total number of valid tuples would be 8. So for each valid set, the total number of count should be 8, because you can permute the elements and just swap the elements inside and can make a count as 8. So if you find a valid set, then it just multiplied with 8, so that will be the total number of valid tuples. So how do we find the valid sets? So we get to know, like, if we find a valid set, we can just multiply it with 8, so that we can get the answer. But how do we find the valids? So in that case, what we do is just iterate over 0 to n and j I plus 1 to n. So what is the product would be? Nums of I into nums of j, right? So through this we will get a product of two elements. Suppose take the product as A and B. We get the product as A and B. So if there is a possibility that another product as C and D gives the same result as A and B, then we can say that it is a valid tuple. Suppose. So how do we keep track of that? So we just use a map. So we're just using a map which consists of a product and its count, like how many times the product has been repeated. If the product has been repeated more than once, it means we can be able to find a valid set. If the product is just repeated one time, which means that there is no other element gives the same product. Suppose if A and B product is 3, suppose A is 3, B is 1, and if the count is just a 1, which means that there is no other C and D element that gives the same product, right? So what we do is we'll just make the count using the map. If count is more than 1, then we can able to find a valid set, and if we find a valid set, then we just multiply it with 8 so to get the total number of valid sets. So for that sake, I'll just writing a pseudocode. This map of int command, the product also is an int. Okay, so for I to n, I'm just writing as a pseudocode, j equal to I plus 1 to n, map of nums of I into nums of j plus plus, which means if we find as the same product, we'll just increment using a map counter. Suppose and then in the next case we will iterate through the map and map if so int key, or you can say product is equal to I dot first. So key is the product and int count, like the number of times that product has been repeated, that would be the I dot second. So ans plus equal to I dot second into I dot second minus 1 by 2. So this gives the number of valid pairs. So if you find a valid pair, we just multiply it with the 8. That's it, because for each valid set there can be a 8 possible valid tuples. So that's it. So how do we get this? I dot second into I dot second minus 1. Suppose I'll give you an example. Suppose we have a product 12, right? Product, suppose 3 4 6 2, then again 3, no, then 12 1, and that's it. Then again 12 1. Okay, so the number of times that a product will be 12 is 3 into 4 one time, 6 into 2 one time, 12 into 1, just 12 into 1 one time. So total number of times that product for that can be obtained using this nums array will be 3. Count is 3. So how do we know, like which part of array becomes can contribute to the valid tuple? So we can just so in order to make a tuple, we need to consider two elements, right, of the same product. So AB as a one such and CD as one such. So we have a we have a counter of that product will be 3, and we only need to choose two elements, right, AB and CD. So C2 3C2, which means like we have a 3 options and we only need to choose 2, so which is 3 factorial by 2 factorial into 3 minus 2 1 factorial. What if we have a n element or some, so suppose n element, n or like counter element C2, that will be counter factorial by counter minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial, right? All right, here suppose we have a f times the product has been repeated, C combination 2. So f factorial by f minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial, which means which means f into f minus 1 into f minus 2 factorial divided by f minus 2 factorial into 2. 2 factorials is 2. Just cancel it. So which what we get, f into f minus 1 by 2. So that's what I wrote. This is f. I dot second means the number of time that product has been repeated. So f into f minus 1 by 2. So that's how we get the total valid pairs for a particular value of the product, and we just multiplied with 8. We know, like, if you find a valid tuple, we can make that valid tuple in 8 number of times. So let's just code it, guys. You'll get to know everything clearly. So just increase the size so that it will be feasible for you to understand. Just have a nums array. Okay, and iterate through the nums array. Okay, as well as j is equal to from I plus 1 to n times. Need to declare the map as well. You can use an order map or an ordered map. There won't be any issue because we don't consider any order of the element. Just need to retrieve the value of that particular key. So int product of those two elements is equal to nums of I into nums of j, right? We'll just push that product into the map. So whenever the same product has been repeated, it will be incremented by 1. So that's the post increment. And then iterate through the map. Okay. So int count, which means, or I'll say f is equal to I dot second, which means the number of time that product value has been repeated. Okay. So ans plus equal to, as we derived the formula earlier, f into f minus 1 f into f minus 1 divided by 2. Okay, this will be the total number of valid tuples for that particular product into 8 times. For each tuple we can make around 8 times, right? So that's it. Answer equal to 0. Let's make answer equal to 0 and then just return answer. That gives us the answer. Let's just run it and check for any others. Dice I plus 1 to okay j plus plus. I just missed it. Let's submit the code. And voila, it accepted. So that's it for the today video, guys. If you like the video, do subscribe to my channel, hit that bell icon, and that's it for the today video, guys. See you, tata, bye bye, see you tomorrow.